Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Alien Addict. This is the show where we discuss all things UFOs and aliens to the paranormal, in our pursuit into the mysteries or the unexplained. Welcome on in, guys. So, happy Tuesday, everyone. Would you like to know how my Friday went? And anyway, I hope everyone had a fabulous Friday. Obviously, I went to a party. I did say I was going to get drunk. Bit of an understatement, because I have some. It was a good time, really good time, and I love my boot camp people because they're not. Some of them can be alternative, but we can have a good laugh, and always have a good laugh. But it's one of those nights. The music's going, we're all chatting away, and the drinks keep on coming. It's like, oh, don't worry, I barely bought any drinks, but 8 pints later of the finest cider. The taxi driver was like, I'm just going to put my foot down on this one, because I had me and my Dan, my mate, next to me, and we're like, and do you know when you're like in a taxi and you've had way too much drinks and you're going, I like the ride is making you feel sick. So I came home with my head in the toilet. Mrs. was absolutely fuming, because admittedly I had to have work the next day, which I did get up to do. Fuck, I don't know how to do it. And then we had a meal in the evening, but otherwise it was all right, despite the sickness. But you know, when you've had too much, it's. Nevertheless, I had a good time. Let's do a bit of roll call. Won't you, Saxon? Nice to see you, man. Sadie, hope you're doing well. Happy Tuesday. John Strokes, how's it going? Science Evidence Fringe, Sadie again, hello. Bob Lazar. Bob, did you get my voicemail on Cosmic Twilight X page? Because I'm shit at writing like long emails. I have to like really think about it. But anyway, come back, because we've got, me and Bob, we've got something going on. We're building a new rocket balloon. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Sheep Bob, how's it going? Yeah, Sheep Hop. Yes, Sheep Hop caught something interesting in the sky. Well, it's like this halo around, not halo, it's like this rainbow around the moon. But anyway, we'll get to that probably Friday. We'll see. And it was Mark G. I still need to figure out this new handle to change, but yes, Mark G, how's it going? Nice to see you, man. And Cool Bell's Cat, nice to see you. We're on Rotary Matrix, how's it going, brother? Chillster, what else we got in store today? And of course, the man himself, John P. Adventures. Nice to see everyone. So today, I've mastered something. Not the new hairstyle. In fact, I'm going to put the beanie back on. Don't judge, you're growing my hair out. But I've got some wicked old photographs of me back in the day. Don't worry, Sophia. Hey, Sophia, don't worry. I've literally just started, and I'm just about to talk about food, just slightly. Yeah, that's fine, man. No worries. I've just sent you a voicemail just explaining. But yeah, come back to me whenever you want, mate. Whenever you want. Sophia, did it piss down with rain? When you left the live stream, Sophia went live and I popped in because, do you know what? It's one of those days. I normally go out to do Tabata and to the gym, and I was like, I just don't want to deal with people today. And it was one of those days, and I popped onto Sophia's stream, and it was like this massive depression like over your landscape. I was like, oh, it's gonna piss down with rain, but hopefully it was all right. But lovely landscape. I have to admit, the colors that come out in sunset is absolutely wonderful. So yeah, hope you're doing well, Sophia. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, do you know what I've mastered? Just quickly, Yorkshire puds. Yes, gigantic Yorkshire puds. One thing that I absolutely adore, me and the missus absolutely love. I look at that. I cooked that before the show. That one's a bit fucked up. That one's like it's been flattened by like a truck or something. But those look pretty decent, isn't it? The trick here is just to overfill the pan. No, it did rain at the end. Oh, that's right. It looked like it was going the opposite direction, but nevertheless, you had a really good view of that. I tell you what, a time like the time-lapse camera, you can just buy a cheap one off Amazon. That's what I did. It still would give like good quality. And it comes with like the cases and all that, so you can leave it in the rain if it needs to be. But if you were to capture that in time-lapse, it would have been quite stunning, because it looked like it was developing in that area. But yeah, beautiful. At least it didn't rain. Yay! Pissed down with rain where I was. Look at me, it's all about the bloody weather. Look at my Yorkshire birds, Sophia. Yay! But they're awesome. And I used beef dripping. Yes, beef dripping. But anyway, enough about food, because last time I was an alien addict, I might have 420 too hard and talked about food for about an hour. Can you blame me? I love my food. Right, moving on for today. And am I going to have a bitching sesh? Am I going to... I make... Oh, Gert Lash, absolutely. I got this spot on this time. So it's 170 grams of flour, 4 eggs, a pinch of salt, and 200 milliliters of milk. Beef dripping fat in the pan. How's your mum doing? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we're going back to this edition of UFO magazine, which is November-December edition of 1997. Yes, out here is the person that actually owned this, so I couldn't scrub it off. But nevertheless, it's still the full frontal magazine. I have split things down into bullet points. Okay, so I'm not going to do a mass amount. I'm not going to do a mass amount of reading. It's going to be short to the point, and I'm not going to have a hissy fit like I did last time. Oh, by the way, I had to privatize the last live stream I did on this because, like I said, hello with a hissy fit like a 5-year-old girl because I don't read properly. So I'm going to split that up and put it into a video form. So we'll see how this one goes today. But yes, we're traveling all the way back to Time Machine Music to 1997. November December edition. So what have we got in store for today? But again, this might be 2-3 parts. Happy 429. I haven't done much of that recently. Bob's your uncle. Fanny's your aunt. Oh, Fanny's your aunt. I haven't heard that one. That's a good one. I'm going to say that Screwfix. Do you know what? I was in Screwfix the other day. I was buying some gardening gloves, and they say, "John, come and fetch your order and all that." The person came up. This lady comes up and goes, "Oh, Jimmy Savile," and like all these builders will start laughing. I have to admit, I started laughing, and then she looked down again and she went, "Oh, Fred West." Everyone was cracking up at Screwfix. A bit of builders attitude. I do love it. But anyway, going back to UFO magazine, typical British humor. There you go. But yeah, Fanny's your aunt. I remember that one, Sophia. The truth is out there. So what we've got in store, we're not going to get through everything today at the moment. I know it was funny. I have to admit, I did laugh. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't normally laugh, but that I have a bit of chuckle on that one. So UFOs seen over Scotland. Must slow down the reading and calm. Don't act like a 5-year-old girl. Something to do about SETI, Australian encounters, special reports, the Virginia case. I keep saying the word vagina. That's what pops in my head. So don't judge my man. Day after Roswell. What else we got here? Prince Philip, UFO interest. Daylight UFOs, caught on camera, secret RAF manor. Oh, it's going to go well today, isn't it? Right, let's move on. So I haven't got anything on this page, but we just briefly go through what we got in store for this magazine. Oh, by the way, I shall put link in description. Where is it to? There we go. And I'll put in chat right now. This is all the magazine here is uploaded to Internet Archive. Yes, Alien Alex has its official Internet Archive, so you could go check out for yourself. So what we've got in store for today. Okay, I'm not going to read all that. So we've got alien implants, day after Roswell, Australian encounters, where are they? Global news, origins, Americana, UFOs, military encounters, CIA reports blasted, Vili issues warning. Is that right? Veli, whatever. Retired RAFS Colonel Phillips Corso on the level, Australian encounters, global UFO news, etc., etc. We'll get to that probably in part 2 or 3. Right, let's have a look. Page 4 and 5. Let's bring my notes up. Put this a bit bigger so you guys can see. I won't be paying attention to chat. Jesus Christ. Oh man, I saw a video of Gary Lineker. And I think it was like the This Is Your Life. And this lady came up and she was talking about how these schoolgirls used to dress up in school uniforms, right? I'm just going to put my face on here just to show you. And she was talking and Gary goes, like literally does that. Like the clip is all over the internet. You can find it. But is he still alive? Is he dead now? Anyway, guys, I can't. So I should not swear. I should not swear. I'm sorry. That's just the southwestern meanness coming out. So anyway, we're going back to this page 4 and 5. Did you say glitter? Yeah, it was glitter. I thought, and I got confused by that. Then, yeah, yeah, they're both tossers anyway. So anyway, let's. God's sake, we're shooting fire already. Right, let's get to this. Page 4 and 5. Right, okay. Let's get to the left page right here. Scottish experiences, Wars of the Worlds. So Scottish experience of the 1990s. So on September the 2nd night, the night of the September the 22nd, hundreds of sightings of a huge glowing object streaking across the sky from outer space, which was spotted in southwest England. Now, the object's described as a football-size, glowing white red tail traveling through the sky at tremendous speed. Now, multiple pilots, police, coast guards, and civilian reported it. Another witness in Greenslaw, Scotland, saw the aircraft in trouble and called the police. RAF search and rescue helicopters were scrambled but found nothing. Now, the Ministry of Defense officially claimed it was a re-entry of a Soviet satellite, Cosmos 2343, burning up in the atmosphere. Now, scientists and the RAF personnel express skepticism. Many believe the explanation does not fully fit the observation. Some speculated it could be a meteorite or some sort of space debris. But the size, path, and multiple coordination sightings, as I said that right, made official story questionable for many at the time. So there we go. We have something described. Go all the way back to the top. So yes, it was a huge glowing streak, like a football-size white with a red tail. Interesting. There we go. And that was spotted at night. Okay, crossfire. Here we go. So this is the right-hand page right here. Let's blow it a bit bigger. There we go. Okay, so what's this saying here? So we're just going to go for an hour today, guys, all right? Hey, Alex, how's it going, man? Nice to see you. Yeah, they were both horrible. Very, very horrible. I don't normally bitch about people, like, first thing on the stream. But Gary Lineker and that other one, Gary Glitter. Oh, yeah, it's, like I said, terrible people. Maybe doing well, Alex. Nice to see you. Welcome into the chat, man. Right, so we're going to move on to this one, Crossfire. What is all this about? So this is a segment of the 50-year anniversary of Roswell. Okay, obviously 1947, and this is the magazine from 1997. So radio show, panel discussions marking the 50 years since the 1947 Roswell incident. Many quotes highlighted, so this is what they're saying. If it was just a weather balloon, it was so secret about a weather balloon that the Air Force had to wait 50 years in order to write this report. Now, that's quite interesting, actually, because in 1997, thank you, One True Saxon. That's the word I'm looking for. I believe in 1997, there was a book that was released. Actually, it might have been sometime in the 90s called Roswell Case Closed. And this was the official announcement of Project Mogul describing the alien bodies was basically Project Mogul because they were attaching dummies to it or something like that. But the thing is, Project Mogul didn't come out until the 50s, which was like 7 years after Roswell. So a lot of things didn't make sense. It might mention it in here. I think I briefly remember reading it in there. So what is saying here? Participants. I've got Kevin Randall. He's a pro UFO researcher and written multiple books on Roswell. You got Kent Jeffrey. He was again another author, but he's more or less but he later became a bit of a skeptic, despite writing a few books on the case. And we got John here, who's a former White House chief of staff under Bush Sr. Also, we had on this panel debates whether Roswell was an alien crash or Project Mogul. This is it. This was the classified balloon program. Now, Randall argues bodies were discovered and covered up continuous still to this day. Jeffrey, who is now skeptical, says the evidence does not hold up and it was likely Mogul project. And last but not least, there's somebody else here that I can't pronounce the surname, but firmly supported basically Project Mogul, I should say, balloon explanation, and dismisses the alien claims. Am I going to do a video on Roswell? I think it's worth doing because, like I said, it was the granddaddy of it all. And I think it's worth going through the case. But there's one thing I've noticed, guys, especially with Roswell, there's been so many books, let alone the flipping internet. Fantastic source of information talking about the internet, but when it comes to books, it's been thousands of books been written about Roswell, and each will have the basic story, but I think some authors might twist it to essentialize the story, adding fake personnel, members of staff in there. I remember there was this lady who was a nurse who saw the alien body that was never to be found. I think that was later debunked. Don't quote me on that one. It's one I got to spend at least a month researching before I do a video on it because it's like all over the place. So yeah, that's it. This is just a brief breakdown. Oh, that's the quote there. Basically, the 50-year anniversary of Roswell. So there we go. Moving on. So these should be quick fire rounds today. We'll see how we get on. So this is continuing the 50-year anniversary. This is another debate. So we've got Kevin Randall, a UFO author and researcher, believes that there was alien crash with bodies found in the surrounding area. We've got, did I read that one again? Is it just repeating the same stuff? Hold on. Okay, no, I'm going to read. Okay, that's just basically the same people that was involved last time. Okay, so key arguments and quotes on this. So as is a panel show, is all going back and forth and trying to describe. Yes, there's loads of interviews on YouTube. Absolutely, Sadie. Yes. These conferences are on. Actually, I've got a couple of them I need to put on. Actually, I've asked my missus to buy me a VHS player so I can actually put everything to digital because I've got so many VHS tapes. In regards to these conferences, so I think it's worth actually bringing it up. But yeah, I think you find loads of them on YouTube. Absolutely, 100%. Okay, moving on. So, pro UFO cover up side. So this is where is it? Where is he? We do super close-ups of these people just to see what their faces look like. They're very 90s looking people. Okay, so the best, so Kevin right here, Kevin Randall. So what you're saying here, the best evidence that we have is the eyewitness testimony. I speak to the witnesses, according to Kevin right here. So multiple first-hand witnesses describe alien bodies, the head slightly larger than the human body, and the eyes slightly larger than the human eyes. All right, so this is what Kevin is saying right here. There were 4 to 5 bodies recovered. I've been hearing 3. This is what I mean. It's like misconcluded information here. Some alive briefly, plus the wreckage of the strange properties picked up by, I spelled his name wrong there, didn't I? Jesse Marcel. Believes the government is still actively hiding the truth and controlling the narrative 50 years later. Yeah, well, nothing's changed, Kevin, mate. We're 2025 and nothing's changed. There's no doubt in his mind. The government, still have control and still hiding the documents. Yes, still to this day. I did hear, I think it was a couple of years ago, me and Ollie. In fact, I was speaking to Ollie yesterday on the podcast, and apparently I hear from News Nation, I remember them saying that there's supposed to be some new documents about Roswell supposed to come forward, and I don't really see that actually happening, especially in this current administration anyway. So we have this skeptical side. Who's a skeptic? Are you a skeptic? Yes, he is. Yeah, look at that face. That's a big chin, isn't it? There we go. Just leave that there for you guys for a minute. So here's a skeptical. He's a skeptic. John, Kent Jeffrey, and this person called John. So Jeffrey, now a former believer, so he's now a skeptic, spent many years investigating, interviewing many witnesses, concluded all the exotic stories falling apart. Now, most witnesses are second to third hand witness testimonies, and they have changed their stories over time. This is why I need to do a bit of research into this. You know, like I said, it's like a massive rabbit hole. With the case of UFOs, so this is the quote that he's saying here. With the case of UFOs, I've flown as an airline pilot for 26 years. I've never seen one, but I have talked to some pilots who have. I don't have any prospective evidence or reliable evidence, so to speak. So this other person called John strongly defends the 1994 and 1997 Air Force report. It was a classified Project Murgle balloon and detected Soviet nuclear test. Sorry, it was to detect Soviet and nuclear test. Now, this is a quote from him. If the president was asked and had the conclusive evidence and proof, the answers he gave in Ireland, for example, if it was real, the Air Force didn't tell me. All right. So, like I said, he worked for the Air Force. But again, this is top secret. So I don't understand why he would be informed if he was part of that program of actually retrieving the aircraft or the debris, so to speak. Now, John mocks the idea of the 50-year perfect cover up and dismisses alien bodies, claiming as ridiculous. Well, you always get one, isn't it? Always one that spoils the fun, isn't it? Make some Yorkshire puddings, might make you feel better. So moving on, so the core debates that was points were actually raised. Why did the Air Force take 47 to 50 years to admit it was Project Mogul balloon? If it was just a weather balloon in the first hand, which kind of makes sense, doesn't it? You know, this is why did they say it was a flying disc or flying saucer that crashed and then changed it to a weather balloon? It's a bit odd why they would put that in the first place. Clickbait material? I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point. Moving on. So, can hundreds of witnesses, military and civilian, all be lying and mistaking their claims? Another point cross. Another point cross here is it the continuing secrecy responsible? Let me say that again. Is the continuing secrecy reasonable if it was just 1940s balloon project? And finally, are the alleged alien bodies and exotic materials such as the metal described real or decades old myth in the making? Did I say that right? Probably not. But anyway, moving on. But basically, we've got the skeptic side saying whatever was found in Roswell was basically tinfoil, bits of metal, if I remember rightly. Do you know what? We should bring that back. Batty boy. That is a word I hadn't heard in about 15 years, mate. I used to hear that back in secondary school. Oh, you batty boy. Thing is, you gotta be English to say it. Oh, you batty boy, mate. Right. Moving on from these skeptics. Get out of here, skeptics. Right. Moving on to page 8 and 9. Ooh, that's spooky. Susan Blackmore and the alien model. Awesome. Right. Let's get to the left of the page right here. Oh, is it continuing with this skeptics? That's what it's saying here. Okay, let's move on to actual believers. So go back to Kevin Randall. So Kevin insists that something extraordinarily large crashed near Roswell in 1947, seen on radar and chased by fighter pilots and recovered. And this is a quote from him right here. I don't know why we haven't come forward. I don't know why they haven't come forward. Where they have come from, I don't know. But there was a lot of credible sightings, absolutely for sure. John, who is a skeptic, mocks the idea of a perfect cover-up. Yeah, we mentioned that before. I'm just repeating myself. Okay, so yeah, basically, what Kevin is saying here, the good guy, is that it's basically dismissing all these skeptics. And do you know what? It's quite interesting to see how the debate would have taken place. Would there be like a massive argument? Because you know what it's like today. Everyone can't control themselves because everyone's on edge. Rightly so, you know, we can't blame them really, but social media has played like a massive role how we all interact and how we communicate. But you get your occasional dicks in it, man. You know what I mean? So I think we need to be. I just interested to see the debate side back in the 90s. It's probably a lot calmer, more collective. Who knows? Who knows? So moving on now, let's get to this scientific analysis of an alien implant. Right. So this features. Blah, 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 blah. So subject here. So James Basil claims lifelong abduction, and in 1992, a supposed alien implant was surgically removed from his hand. That's Susan. Hello, Susan. There we go. Right. So expert Dr. Susan Blackmore, best well known for a psychological. Is it? Person. Anything that's got a P, S, and a Y in it, it just out the window. So basically, she's a skeptic. So key findings after scientific examination. So the object was a tiny shard of glass, metal containing carbon, silicon, and oxygen. Completely ordinary terrestrial material. Okay, so that was found in James's Basil's hand that was surgically removed. All right, so nothing more than a terrestrial material, according to Susan. No unusual isotope, no extraordinary or exotic technology, and no biological compounds were found in this. X-rays and scans show it was a superficial, something that was under the skin, not deep or attached to any nerves, as it was a typical implant story claims. Okay, so Blackmore conclusion on this. So I'm talking about Susan Blackmore right here. She got a very typical 90s hairstyle, wasn't it? Not judging. So basically what she's saying here as a quote, these objects in the laboratory, one turned out to be carbon, silicon, and oxygen. This could mean it was a number of extraordinary earthly things. Others were clearly of a normal biological material. In other words, probably came from Abductee's own body. Okay, did she change her stories after a while? I don't know. So, several famous alleged implants, including one that was promoted by Dr. Robert Lear, and it was tested over years, and it turned out to be a fragment of glass, metal, and bone. Okay, well, I guess in all these compounds around the Earth, you know, the is it periodic table or something like that? I think that could be found throughout our galaxy. So when something comes from space and it lands on our planet, it's like, oh, it's the same compound as Earth. It's like, well, I think everything's made of the same thing. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm just putting that out there. So basically, yeah, she's taken some implants out of somebody's hand, which was James Basil, and it just turned out to be just terrestrial material. So basically, glass, silicone, and oxygen. And nothing strange, nevertheless. But again, the point I'm trying to make is that everything's probably made out of the same compound. Okay, science evidence fringe. I shall take your word on it. Isotopes will be different. Fair enough. Fair enough. I will stand corrected. Oh, is it? Okay. Do you know what? She kind of the name reminds me. Like a lot of these names, like Toby Todd gets brought up, and I was like, ah. Oh mate, wait until Friday's show. I got so many girly photographs of me, and now looking at it with open eyes as a 35-year-old man, I'm going, I look like a flipping trans girl, and a good one nevertheless. I would say I would have fooled anybody with a bloody wig and a bit of makeup. That's back in the day. That's not now. So moving on. This is page 10 and 11. Don't know why I said that. 10, 11. Moving on. Okay, what is this saying here? Let's move that way. That can go, and that can go. Cool, cool. Right, left-hand side. Let's do this. Okay, so we're actually continuing on. Same with the implants. Notes, please. Okie dokie. So left-hand side here. Through the microscopic features. Let's get a Z in the shot there. Look at that. Focus on that, guys. So focusing on alleged alien implants removed from abductees and examine the implants through a microscope. So the main photo here, is that Daryl? Are you Daryl? I think you are Daryl, mate. There we go. So Daryl Sims, an abductee researcher holding an implant sample. Okay, there we go. There we go, right there. So key quotes from what Daryl Sims is saying. So nothing we saw looked like miniature technology or mechanical compounds. But then, of course, alien technology might be unrecognizable to the human eye. Very, very true. Spiritual entities. There we go. You can see they pop out of our dimensions or our eyesight or peripheral view. Did I say that right? Whatever. He sent several supposed implants for independent laboratory testing. Believes abductees are being tagged like animals Yes, it believes the abductees are being tagged like animals and have some implants emitted radio signals or move to avoid removal. That's quite interesting. Yeah, it's just a bit like an X-Files sort of thing, isn't it? Like, remember, like the storyline with Scully with the implant in the back of the head. Oh, okay. Microscope photos show tiny metallic-looking fragments, but no obvious clarity or advanced tech that was actually visible on the implant. Can we see the implants there? They must be very, very tiny. Yeah, this is it now. Yeah, I think because we went from anal probes to implants to God knows what else they can do. I just threw that, because that's been in ufology, being probes shoved up someone's ass like the satellite dish from South Park. No, actually, come to think about it, I think South Park may have started that trend because the first ever episode of South Park in 1997 was Cartman gets an anal probe, and he was abducted by aliens that managed to put a satellite dish up his ass. It's true. That's the actual episode. Oh, mate, hilarious. Oh, there's Susan Blackmore. Hello, Susan. Bring my notes back up. We're going to here. Okay. Let's put Susan here. I think we're going to talk about Susan now. Okie dokie. So the objects from James Brazil's hand. So this is what Susan Blackmore taken out. And this was 2 to 3 millimeters, a dull grey shard. Stereo microscope, regular edged mass of surface details. There were obviously with yellow and brown materials, not glowing or high tech. There were scans being done. X-rays was being done at the same time, and the result was mainly calcium, silicon, and chlorine. Traces elements of 40% of mercury, 16% of silver, and 5% of tin, typical of a dental filling. Oh, that's interesting. Right. Okay. Surface coating consists of a long-term presence of human tissue. And the conclusion is that the implant was almost certainly a fragment of a dental filling that worked loose and migrated itself under the skin over many years. How did it get into his hand, though? How did it seep into his hand? That doesn't make any sense. Susan, Blackmore, Susan. Final verdict says the mystery was solved. I don't think so, darling. It was really exciting about getting the answer. No evidence of extraterrestrial origins or advanced technology. Oh, bit of a skeptic, Susan. Okay, fair enough. Well, at least you took it out of the man's hand. Okay, so she says it was some bit of a dental filling that came out and finally made its way into this guy's hand. If you actually believe that. There's an advertisement here. Oh, hello, advertisement. What's this? UFO Conference and Film Festival. I would have definitely attended that. Awesome. Okay, moving on. Let's move on to this. Page 12 to 13. What am I drinking today? Oh, I have a selection. I have tea. I've got something. I've got a protein shake I need to drink. Oh, do you know what it's called? For goodness shake. That's good. All right. You tickled me a little bit. Yeah, I would agree, Sadie. Mystery not solved. Don't believe that one bit. Again, I think once you're getting scientists involved, and I think they're very one-sided, very narrow-minded, I think anything that comes to anything remotely extraterrestrial, they're just like, oh, nope, not going there. So probably that's the case on that one. Oh, bloody hell, makes it so sweet. Sorry, I don't want to hear me gulping through the. I don't do like a bend thing. When you can hear if someone's gulping when they're swallowing. It's terrible. I'm not bloody blue, for Christ's sake. Right, day after Roswell. I haven't watched the videos, by the way. Bloody hell. Oh. So, day after Roswell. This is a CNN interview by Colonel Philip Corso. There we go. I'll just leave that there for the moment. Okay, so. Okay, so this was conducted by CNN News editor Michael Lindman. Does anyone remind you of that name? And this was taking place on July the 5th of 1997 in Roswell during the 50th anniversary of the event. Corso, then 82. Hold on. Sorry, I'm swallowing here. Yeah, not convinced. Absolutely. Susan, not convinced. Right. So, sorry, guys. So, yes, Corso was 82 at that time, and he was a co-authorized. Yes. Sorry. Oh my God. Retired. Co-authored the best-selling book The Day After Roswell. He claims his personal handling of the seeded alien artifacts from the 1947 Roswell crash in U.S. industry and military R&D, whatever that means. So Corso core claims. So in 1961, between 1961 and 1963, as a Corso was in the colonel. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. So Corso was in the Army Foreign Technology Desk under General Arthur Trudeau. It's not Trudeau. I spelled that wrong. He was given a filling cabinet containing the actual Roswell pieces of debris. I've misspelled everything there. Sorry, guys. So we're talking about Corso here. He's seen the actual material from the Roswell crash. So secretly passed the pieces from the wreckage that was indicated there was like circuits and fiber optics. That seems a bit weird. I'm hearing that sort of story. Night vision tech. Oh, sorry, my bad. I should have rephrased this. This gave birth to fiber optics, night vision, Kevlar vests, what's saying here, and circuitry. Which actually, if you do your research, the Germans invented that. We're doing that way before in the 20s, so it's like nothing new. Lasers, again, Nikola Tesla was doing that back in the 80s, and the Germans were also doing that as well. Particle beams, again, Germany as well. Super strong fibers, Germany as well. And the Americans' defense contractors and tells them only that it was a foreign technology. Germans again? Am I bringing Germans a lot onto this? Is this true? If you look in what the Germans were developing, it was like they made tiny little microchips. They're like tiny little microchips, silicon chips. So it's like everything that was apparently expanded from Roswell. Do a bit of research in German, what they're actually developing in Germany at the time, like lasers and all that. You can trace it back decades ago. You know what I mean? Before the alleged crash. You know what I mean? But yeah, I said it right, brother. Wait till Friday show. Ooh, it's gonna be spicy. Spicy. Right. So moving on from that. So this allegedly start jumped the transistor revolution, microchips, Cavalier vest, and many other breakthroughs in the 60s and 80s. I don't think so. The craft itself was biological guidance system. The alien pilot was part of the vehicle. The extraterrestrial itself was the guidance system. So I guess it would have, what I'm gathering from this, what Corso is saying, the aliens actually controlled it with their minds through consciousness and not actually through knobs and sticks and stuff like that. And so the being was a biological engineered probe sent by a distant civilization. Sorry, read that again. The being was a biological engineered probes sent by a distant civilization. Memory metal? Yeah, I think that was that. Memory metal? Maybe. Yeah, the Roswell phenomena. Yeah, Roswell. Headbands. So key quotes of this. So this is a quote from Corso. we have came to the conclusion years ago, and now it's starting to take hold, even with scientists, that the reason that we missed out on this was that the extraterrestrials himself was the guidance system. Now, the reason we missed out this, oh no, sorry, so I'm repeating the same bloody line again. From that point of view, it is the most important thing I've ever seen or witnessed. As it did happen, it did happen. They have to know that improved and what it was leading to, and the ones that will be resolved in what was led to from the point of view and most important thing I ever did. That made absolutely no flipping sense. What I just said. So take everything I just said out of equation, because where's the quote? Is there somewhere? Oh, that means the fucking quote there. Okay, so interview, reaction, and comments. So this guy, John, the CNN interviewer here, so it says Corso was highly decorated and seems credible. Decorated? Yes, it's decorated. Okay. Well, he looks quite well there, and dressed well. Fair enough. But his story is a bit murky. I'm sorry, his story is a bit maverick. So the claims, basically, what John is saying here, is it John Lindman, the CNN reporter, acknowledged that the book has become influenced, and this is all started to come forward now. Corso predicted the oh, look at that! Listen to this. Hey, how's it going? Oh my god, your handle! I can't remember your handle, mate. What's your real name? I forgot. It's not that. Cornell? I can't remember. How's it going, man? Germans in World War II used night vision. Remember reading it somewhere. Yes, very, very true. So we can take that out of the equation, that the fact that whatever. Is that Mark? Okay. I think it was Mark. I've got to change this handle because it's throwing me off, man. I'm so used to your thumbnails and just your name. But yeah, Mark, how's it going, man? It's nice to see you. But yes, you are 100% correct. But again, it's that sort of terminology through ufology just sort of gets regurgitated through the internet. And it's like, oh, did you know whatever crashed at Roswell where they had microchips and all that? It's like, whoa. Like, do a bit of like history reading there, because but yeah, what's Mark saying is 100% right. Okie dokie. So, blah, 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 blah. All right. So this is quite interesting. So Corso, right, we're 25. We're coming up to 20 years, 30 years. Yeah, 30 years until this book is 30 years old. I hope that makes sense. So Corso predicts a full disclosure may not happen in his lifetime, but the technology indicates is already changing the world. If you're thinking that microchips came from Roswell and all that. But I think whatever the military has in terms of technology is far beyond our comprehensions, guys. I think we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. I mean, for instance, phones, you can trace that back decades ago. Plasma screens, 50 years ago. I'm not making stuff up. I'd love to do like a video on that. Yeah, if you just look, it's what we're having is just outdated technology. It's just the fact that it's just cheaper to manufacture. I mean, phones cost 20 quid to make, and they charge you 500 quid for it. Same with printer cartridges, and it costs like 20p to actually create, but they charge you £20 for it. Bastards. So yeah, there we go. Corso books. I might buy his book. We'll see. Oh, there he is. I thought that was Timothy Good then. Oh, not John. Michael Linderman. Oh, there he is. Vernon von Braun. Yeah, thanks to that guy. You blew the shit out of this country. Well, not you specifically, but you did develop the bombs, the V1 and V2 rockets. 2 seconds, hang on. Oh, awesome. Right page. Are we on this right page? 14 to 15. That, ladies and gentlemen, The last card. The last card, yes. The Nazi himself. So, this is basically a continuous recap of the 1997 interview with Corso. Moving on from here, so key points of putting forward, continuing on. So Roswell beings were not individual pilots, but biological engineered clones designed specifically to travel in space. No muscles, no bones needed, anti-gravity propulsion, brain directly influence with the craft. So it's using their consciousness to actually make the craft move. The craft was the craft used a form of gravity wave propulsion. Now, this is referring to gravity radiation, which comes right from the ship itself. Corso says his Corso says he personally shown the alien artifacts to Werner von Braun, this guy right here, the German paperclip scientist in the 1960s. He claims that the US military has back engineered the craft even since it was close to duplicating the propulsion system. So again, they were trying to find out to actually manufacture the propulsion system. But what I've heard, remember that the crash itself was in like in millions of pieces. There was no craft there that was sticking out of the ground. It was like literally pieces of debris everywhere. So this is why I was a bit confused where the aliens started to come into fruition. But again, that's the research on my behalf I need to do. Moving on. So man can travel into space today. Those clones were created to travel in space. Our muscles, our bones, our brains cannot take it. Yes, unless you have a propulsion field that's actually surrounding the craft itself to stop the inertia or the G-forces. So Corso on secrecy and cover up, and this is a quote from him. I was the one who was used to stop people from violating security. It did not reveal anything that's harmful or should be kept quiet. He believes that the public is now ready for the full disclosure will happen with the next generation. Oh, we're past that, I think. We've been ready a long time ago. How long's a generation? I'm sound like a right retard here. I don't know. How long is a generation? Can chat beat me towards Google? Around 20 to 30 years. Right. Okay. So we're there. This is 1997 and we are now 2025. So we are, 18 years. So we've got a couple of years' time, guys, until full disclosure comes. It's always Germans. Oh, mate, people have no idea, like, their influence after the war. In fact, Joseph P. Farrell talks about the colonization of Germany after the war, and that's like really interesting. Where they actually went. There's one thing that my missus, she was like, "You can't say that." I was like, "Well, if you look at it right, 29 years." Don't laugh, Sophia. It's always the Germans. What's the quote? Yes, the Queen was a German, 100% Rory. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I mean, technically, when you look at it, did Germany really lose the war? Kind of. She said, you can't say that. It's like, if you knew Operation Paperclip, and my conspiracy theory brain, that the fact that Hitler buggered off to Bariloche in Argentina, amongst with the rest of the Germans, you got whole colonies everywhere. I mean, it's not just one or two or even 100 Nazis, especially SS officers, high military people. But they went everywhere. They lost 100%, but the people involved, like the whole idea of, these higher ranking officials, like Operation Paperclip, is a very, very... that alone, you need to do a lot of research into it, because you'd be surprised. I was baffled with the amount of people that went into America. So did the British as well. They went everywhere, didn't they? So in a way, yes, they did surrender, but the people that made Germany were actually brought to America, Argentina, Italy, Spain, everywhere. They fled. So in one way, you could say, yes, they lost, but the people involved, I'm making this sound right, okay? But the people involved ended up having jobs in political power, especially the intelligence agency in America. And that gets glossed over completely, because it's 5,000 scientists, engineers, physicians, like I said, scientists. I mean, Werner von Braun is a very typical example of that. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. The guy who was connected to a Die Glocke, Kurt Dabos, who's got the big scar across his cheek. These people were part of high military projects for the Third Reich, and they went straight into America. So in one aspect, science evidence fringe, yeah, they lost, but in one way, I try to say this in a way that to say that you didn't. But you understand the concept, But the people that were in charge basically went out all over the world. So that's the point I wanted to. Yeah, Russia as well, the Soviet Union, Germans. Yeah, I mean, there was persistent rumors. I've gone off a tangent here, guys, but there were persistent rumors, especially the Allies, the Americans and the British, knew that Germans were developing high advanced technology known as miracle weapon systems. Not glorifying the Nazis, but they were born planners. To do what they do what they did in World War II, it's quite a fucking achievement. I'm not glorifying them. This is not the case here, guys. It's just when you look at what they actually managed to do in a short amount of period of time, and especially getting money from, the British, the Americans, all around the world, because you got to think Germany had nothing after the Treaty of Versailles. Germany was starving, but suddenly they were building the biggest army of the world. Like, where the hell do they get the money from? And when you look at a book called, hold on, 2 seconds. There's a really good book that, if you're interested in looking into, hold on, guys. Sorry. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I can't find it. I can't find it. Oh, sorry, guys. It's called Hitler and the Rise. It's called Wall Street and the Rise of Hitler by Anthony C. Sutton. I've got his book here somewhere. It's in my books here. I've got to find it. But yeah, Anthony C. Sutton literally went into all the finances. Basically, who was financing Hitler, and it's all the Americans, the British, the royal family, the bloody Pope at the time, the Catholic Church. Yeah, they're all bloody well. They're all funding they were all funding Hitler before the war. So it's like, in one aspect, you're actually funding the war efforts. Keep the war machine going, guys. So I went off a tangent. Sorry, guys. Yeah, no, that's cool, man. It's all good. But yeah. Yeah, it depends on what documentaries and all that you watch. But yeah, history, it's all a bit, all over the place. But I don't mean to glorify the Germans. It's not what the point I'm trying to get across. Is that the fact that the people that were part of the Third Reich, the people that were very, very high up, went off into all these other countries to work on their projects. I guess at the time, the Russians and the Soviet Union was against the Americans and the British. There was a build up to the Cold War, so to speak. So they're sort of, well, let's just take these Germans because they were so ahead of their time. So, but yeah, I hope anything made sense. Oh, fuck's sake. Oh, massive tangent there. So can I finish off this here? Where are we to here? Just go through. Let's get that there. Body officer. Nope, we've done that. And we've done that as well. So, okay. Okay, right. So just a final overall conclusion. That the fact that this article presents Corso as a highly credible, courageous, and pretty much sincere, according to Michael right here. Portrays his story as the moment of the Roswell narrative went to fringe and potential mainstream. Yeah, I guess the 1990s were pretty much like Area 51, Roswell. That was pretty much on the cards back in the day. Ends with the feeling that this is all started to come forward now, and that the major revelations may be close. Don't think we're near it, Corso. I think he's dead now if he's 82 back then. Oh, dear. So there we go. Corso wrote that book on what was it called? The day after Roswell. So yeah, I'll have a little gander into that book when I shall have a look on Roswell. I'll be continuing here. No, let's move on from that. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that was the final conclusion. Okay, let's move away from that. Okay, let's move on to this one right here. Australian encounters. Ooh, what's this about? Let's have a look. Oh, we're coming up to an hour. All right, I tell you what, let's just do a couple more pages and we shall finish up for today. Yes, this article is about a famous Australian unexplained phenomena, focusing on two major cases linked to a surge of UFOs. Hold on. It says UAPs here. Activity around the year 2000. Because this is the other thing, guys. The word UAP. I'm looking back at all these books and I'm going, does it ever mention the word UAP? It might do. Okay. Oh, there we go. Is that right? Hold on. That's 2021. All right, gotcha. Okay, sorry. I was just being a bit of a derp. Right, let's do this one. So article, obviously. Oh, yeah, so I'm so sorry, guys. I got mixed up there. Yes, it was mentioned years ago. I'm trying to figure out how far back it was, and I'm pretty sure it gets brought up in the magazine at some point. But anyway, we'll probably get to it, actually, Sadie. We'll have a little look. What's saying here? So yes, this article is all about a Australian unexplained phenomena, focused on two major cases linked to the surge of UFO activity around the year 2000 in Sydney Olympics. Sorry, that is not the year 2000. Oh yeah, it is year 2000. Yeah, of course, because the bloody Olympics, isn't it? Yeah, it makes sense. So the first case was over Castle Hill in Sydney from 1990s to the year 2000s. Now, Castle Hill is in the suburb of Sydney. The witnesses was a 16-year-old Helen Spencer, and what she saw was a large oval egg-shaped glowing object hovering silently over Castle Hill. Now, the behavior of this object appears suddenly hovering over 3 minutes and then shot upwards and vanishing behind the cloud. Other reports of multiple residences from West End Castle Hill area reported similar bright objects at night. Now, Helen's comments saying that believes it was an alien spacecraft and not a plane or helicopter. Go, Helen. Go, Helen. So this is a second sighting right here. The Min Min light. This is in Queensland in... Borlia or whatever. So largely mysterious glowing lights seen in Australia outback over the past 100 years. So the first reported document case was from 1838, and some actual cases were actually earlier. So the description of this case back in 1838 appears to be as a bright, fuzzy, basketball-sized glowing ball, usually white, sometimes coloured, follows cars. I don't have cars back in those days. Following cars and people at night, sometimes kilometers, hovering. Sorry, it's not specifically talking about that case. Hovers and moves erratically, rising and falling, and can split into multiple lights, often appearing near cemeteries and old homesteads. Now, one of the famous witnesses, Cowboy Chilia Scroltrum, I said scrotum then, from 1950 to 1960s, saw multiple times So these UFOs that Cliff saw here can approach very close and suddenly vanish. Something linked to his car. Something linked to car. Sometimes linked to car incidences or accidents or people being injured whilst chasing it. Hundreds of sightings every year around the same area of Australia. Population of 250,000. So many believes that these objects are actual genuine phenomena as extraterrestrials. Now there is a bit of tourism that was brought up in this area for a bit of sky watching, and councillor workers and policemen acknowledge frequent reports as well. There we go. So yes, a bit of a summary of right here. Then this one here as well. Let's go back a little bit. Okie dokie. So yes, Australia is still ongoing, still seeing unexplained phenomena and lights in the sky. The two iconic cases highlighted Castle Hill UFOs in suburban Sydney and Min Min Light and the remote outback. Still unsolved and still getting active reports still to this day. Bear in mind that's 1997. So there we go. All right. I think we might just do one more page. We might call it quits for the day, I think. All right. Okay. What are we to? Yeah, page 21, 22. Okay. So, continuing on with the Australian UFO encounters, focused on orange-coloured UFOs, animal mutilations, and close encounter stories. I'm just going to briefly look if it says UAP. I swear to God, I saw it in one of the magazines. I was briefly looking through one, and I put it in somewhere, and I forgot about it. No, it should be in big brackets like that. Okay, never mind. Okay, we'll get to it at some point. So, first sighting, again, orange UFO in 1976 in Queensland, witnessed by Walton, truck driver. He saw a bright orange-coloured UFO travelling as far and slowly like a plane. The object had no registration number or distinctive markings. Many residents in the area and the surrounding area regularly see similar orange balls of light. The local jokes, friends often refer to be a car. Friends often refer the car as an unidentified flying orb. Oh, hilarious. Moving on, another famous painting of a UFO beam of two men in the 1960s. Kevin personally saw multiple UFO sightings. I might just skip this one. So I'll describe the sightings here. So, blood red ball hovering over a group, U-shaped turns and vanishing out of the appearance of the eyewitnesses. And at the time, they were keeping computed databases of hundreds of Queensland's UFO sightings at the time. So everything was being catalogued. Hey, Spirited Katie, nice to see you, man. Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious, mate. Yeah, again, like the balls of light, we're talking about like Foo Fighters back in the days, you know what I mean? It's nothing new. In fact, you can trace it back hundreds of years and thousands of years, in fact. So let's get back to last one here. Animal mutilations. Where is that to? Here we go. Top right hand corner there. So widespread reports across the outback Australia, especially in Queensland and Northern Territory. Cattle, kangaroos, sheep, horses, trying to sound Australian, found the presence of surgical cuts, jaws, eyes, tongues, genitals, and the organs removed with a laser-like precision. No blood at the scene of the crime, especially when you've got a huge body like a cow. Often no footprints or track marks around the carcass. A famous witness named Larry, there's Larry, I guess, right there. So Larry, allegedly a bushman. I don't know what bushman is, actually, to be honest with you. So he's a bushman of 5 generation of cattle family, station worker near a place that we mentioned in Australia. Many believed aliens are responsible. Now, some say it was a secret military test. That was the other thing at the time, secret military test. Now, Larry, a quote from him. He says, "There is not a doctor for hundreds of miles who could do this level of surgery." Damn straight. He lives in the outback, doesn't he? Moving away from Larry to Debbie Cornell, whatever. Mid-90s, walking through the Cable Beach at night with her friend, saw a large silent object hovering overhead. At first, it thought it was a star, but then realized it was a huge object moving slowly with flashing lights. The object passed overhead, and the temperature suddenly became very warm. Now, Debbie, previously skeptical, and this is her quote, "I have seen one. At first, I thought it was a star, but then I looked closer and it was a huge object in the sky. And then the lights began flashing. It was hovering slowly and it was there for 3 minutes. Now believes in UFOs and aliens. Yay! Go, Debbie. Go, Debbie. Go, Debbie." So there we go. So the overall conclusion for this page right here. So the presence of all the stories are credible from eyewitnesses' testimonies and accounts. Suggests that Australia has a major ongoing UFO and animal mutilation phenomena that is being ignored and covered up to this day. Both. Absolute both in the face. There we go. I think I'm going to call it quits there, guys. Yeah. Go on then. I'm just going to go for an hour today, guys, as these sort of short little shows. Yeah, I hope that was a bit more clearer for you. I broke things down in bullet points, so it was a bit more easier for me to read. Like, I don't want to have like another hissy fit like I did, on last show, because we'll try to keep things professional here. But I hope there's a bit educational. So yes, cattle mutilation brought up, balls of light once again get brought up. Roswell once again, the technology behind that as well. It's what came from the alleged UFO crash at Roswell. So, cheers, man. It's what is a learning curve, guys, because like I said, it's everything just gets regurgitated over and over again. In fact, before you go, thank you, Sadie, thank you so much. I try to make it educational as much as I can. So this was me on. Look at me bloody posing there. If you go to the Daily Conspiracy Podcast, in fact, I'm going to put this in chat right now. I went to speak to Ollie. He needed my attention because Lee wasn't there. He says, "Come and talk about Through Our Atlas," and amongst stuff. So we just rabbled for about an hour and a half. Giving my perspective, and it was pretty good going back and forth with Ollie and all that. So yeah, I mean, I did speak to Ollie about Alien Addict and everything. We keep that to Cosmic Twilight, mate. But no, I haven't really seen anything. It's been pissing down with rain for the past like month. Honestly, it hasn't been a lot. But Ollie said to me that Alien Addict is it is my channel. Okay, so he's not looking to take it back. So if you're watching this and going, "Where's Lee and Ollie?" Unfortunately, go to Daily Conspiracy Podcast, all right, on Spotify, and you can check me out there as well. You can check me out. I'm there, talking about conspiracies and all that. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm here to stay. I bet that pisses a lot of people off, doesn't it? But no, thanks to everyone in chat, much appreciated. But link isn't. Did I put link in the description? Yeah, there it is, guys. Go check that out. But yeah, thanks to everyone in chat, is much appreciated. Anything? Oh, Friday show. I've got a banging show for you because I've been doing more research into German flying saucers, and it's all going to be about Vril. We've been doing a deep dive onto that. Those photographs, well, that's actually AI. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Absolutely. That's just, especially the one with the brown hair. Okay, that's not a real person. Scary, isn't it? Look at it again. Crazy. So yes, we're going to talk about the women of Vril. And what I found quite interesting, I was going through Internet Archive, and I'm going to show you something now. I was basically talking about to one of our fellow observers of alien addicts. Hold on, I'm going to bring this up here. And we were talking about where did the story come from of like the Vril and all that. And I was searching through Internet Archive, and the guy who created the Maria Orsic story, Norbert Jorgen Rathofer and Ralph Ethel, part of the Tula Gesellschaft or Tula Society, the Tempelhof Gesellschaft or Tempelhof Society, which was like this right-wing society back in the day. Just got to say it like it is, because there's a lot of not nice stuff about the Jews in there. But I managed to find this. This is an 8-booklet, 8 pamphlets, I'm not joking, of the Aldebaran flying saucers. And this, I think, is on this page now. You can see it on page. Look, and has all the breakdown of Maria Orsic, everything. And I'm going, holy shit. This deserves an episode. So you're going to find the women of Vril. In fact, look at this. Look. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. So did you know that the women of Vril had curly hair, short curly hair? Anyway, we're going to talk about that Friday. It's immensely fascinating, guys. This will be Nazi Flying Saucers Part 7. And we've got a lot more parts to go through. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting, a proper deep dive. And I just can't get her in my head. I am dreaming about Maria Orsic. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm seeing the 1111 everywhere. I'm dreaming about Maria Orsic. I'm seeing old pictures of me looking like a girl. It's a sign, baby. But anyway, guys, it's not as hot as the girl who shows with a lot of long black hair. Wait, Friday, Bob. Wait, because you have no idea. We're going to have a laugh. Trust me, you will laugh. It'll be a good time. So, yes, I know we're all heart-throbbing over Maria. So, guys, thank you so much for being in chat. It's really much appreciated. And, yeah, we're looking for. Oh, and Alex, thank you so much, Alex, for coming in chat. Much appreciated. We like to have fun here. Like a bit of chin wag. Hey, Mods Mayhem. Oh, you're late, man. I'm just ending the show. Oh, dude. But no, Mods Mayhem, come check me out on Friday, man. All about the real and the beautiful woman herself. So there we go. Bob and Zar, thank you so much. I sent you a voicemail, mate. Go check that out. Sadie, thank you so much, darling. Much appreciated. Sophia, John Strokes, Alex, thank you so much. One True Saxon, John Strokes. Oh, bless you. One True Saxon, thank you so much, man, for the £5 super chat. Is that super chat? I don't know. But mate, thank you for giving me your hard-earned money. It's much appreciated, man. It'll go towards my bookcase, all the books. You know, I'm not on weed. Trust me, I'm not that sort of person. I'm just joking. No, it goes into the kitty, and I'm looking to get another book in regards of bloody hell, what is it? Anyway, when it comes, I shall do an opening party for you. But yeah, once you Saxon, much appreciated, brother. And happy 420. It's a date. Friday it is then. Friday it is. I'm paying, by the way. I'm paying. Sheep Up, thank you so much. I think that's everyone in chat. Yes, Evidence Fringe. Thank you. She's calling you. Maria, are you there? We'll see. Yes, thanks everyone in chat. And much appreciated, One True Saxon, for the kind donations. I'll see you Friday on Alien Addict. And yeah, if you like the show, please like and subscribe, be much appreciated. And I will see you on Friday for another episode, another live stream on Alien Addict. I'm just repeating myself again. So remember, until next time, they're watching you, watching us, watching them. I'll see you Friday.